Beloved, welcome back to the shop. Well, one of the bad habits that I've developed over the years is starting a new project before I finish an old one. Before you know it, you've got 10 different things unfinished and it just really weighs on my mind. So this year I've resolved to stop doing that. As you know, my son Jack is home from college from his freshman year, and before he goes out on wildland fire, I have a little bit of time with him. So I want to do some great moto adventures. Today we're going to be getting the bikes ready. I've got new tires to put on, a whole bunch of stuff, repairs from last year. So I thought I'd bring you along. We'll hang out in the shop today, show you some tips and tricks, and I think you'll enjoy it. Shall we start with a new air filter? Actually, that looks pretty good. I had one ride on it, but of course I'm always in the front. You ride in the front, you don't have to replace near as many air filters, but it's acceptable for one more ride. Usually I put a new air filter. I use these disposables. They're about 12 bucks a piece, but it's worth it. I don't like cleaning them, so I think there's one more ride on that one. My autism is screaming at me to replace the filter with a new one every ride, but common sense dictates that there's plenty of life in this one left. That's how you get 1,000 hours on a dirt bike, is by meticulous maintenance, but I can live with that one. Actually, before I put that on, this stuff, actually I store in my airbox. These are all my emergency tools. This little kit right here has all of the tools and zip ties and all of the things that I've learned over many years of riding that I need. A tow cord for friends that drive Hondas, extra spark plug, tire bars, Leatherman, axle wrench. This is my phone holder, which we'll install next. I'll show you. I finally found a phone holder that's tough enough to endure and won't chew up your camera. I'll show you how I get that installed. And of course, this is a protector for the license plate. Those trail cams, well, sometimes you want to go incognito. And then a mirror. It is tight, but believe me, it all fits in here. I don't like to have weight on me. I want the weight on the bike. I can't stand to have a bunch of heavy tools and things. So I have found if you do it just right, put your tire bars in there, and I've done this for years, no problems. Put my wrench in there, put my tow line. It's the only spare space on a modern dirt bike. Every space, every ounce, or every little bit is accounted for. The Leatherman spark plug goes in the bottom, and then my main tool bag slides right up in there perfectly. Ah, it's so good. And I get a couple pounds out of my pack and my stuff is always there. So it's a super good system. Do I lose airflow? Goodness, is my last name Deegan? Am I professional? No. I could never tell the difference if there is any airflow loss at all. A couple of weeks ago, I was changing all of the brake fluid in my master cylinder for my clutch and my rear brake. And the gaskets inside the Brembo brakes there we're getting pretty grubby. So I ordered new parts and those just came in. So let's swap those out real quick. I don't like having a rear brake on the foot on motorcycles, probably because I kind of came out of the downhill and mountain biking world. And I got used to having the rear brake on the hand. So I modify a clutch, KTM clutch master cylinder, and turn it into a rear brake and then delete the foot brake. And this is it's a common way to set up a bike out west when you're riding on real technical mountain stuff. Yeah, look how grubby that is. That should be flat, and it's looking bad. My 300 originally came with Magura brakes, and I never liked the stopping power on them. And when those wore out, I replaced them with Brembos from a KTM. I ordered brand new ones. And the Brembo brakes are far superior. You can't buy just this gasket. Yeah, look at that. That's what it would originally look like, I'm guessing. You can't buy this gasket without buying the whole lid. Kind of comes as a whole assembly. Is there anything that gives a man more pleasure than making something right, to properly fix something? Staying up on this stuff is what makes it last. The moment you start accepting things that are broken and not fixing them, then pretty soon you quit caring about the machine and it just all goes downhill. Same thing for this one. This is the clutch. that sits on top. Yeah, same thing going on here. Pretty well had it. Brakes are something I pay particular attention to. When you're 75, 85 miles an hour on a logging road full of logging trucks, the last thing you want is a brake failure at the wrong moment. On motorcycles, you know, what it is it's performance on a budget. They perform, I mean, you can rip like a trophy truck, but you pay the price of crashing or damage with your body. There's no roll cage or no protection. So keeping everything tip top is paramount on motorcycles. I, of course, enjoy the riding and the freedom where you can just point the wheel and go up here, go there. There's just no place you can't go with motorcycles, especially dirt bikes, dual sports. But it's the working on them, I think, is just as fun. It breaks into 3 different categories, I guess. 1/3 is the riding that I enjoy. 1/3 is the camaraderie with the warband and with going with friends. And the other 1/3 is working on it. Life is so complicated. I understand so little in the world. Having a machine where I know every single nut and bolt and part, this is something really gratifying about that to me. Next up, we'll do a new fuel filter. Sometimes we're so far away we got to stop at a gas station. You never know what you're going to get, so I like to filter everything. I got these little inline filters. They're cheap. They're like $4, but they're cheap insurance if you get any junk in your tank. Here's a tool that I recently bought. It is a set of cutters. These are soft wire cutters, not for hard wire, just for copper or brass or soft things, zip ties, and they're flush cuts. Actually, let me show you up close the difference between normal side cutters and flush cuts. In all honesty, a guy needs both. The first ones you should get would be a good proper set of side cutters, or dikes, as some people call them. These are going to be good for hard wire, steel wire, copper, anything. Not as precise, but more durable. These can be sharpened, and they'll last you a lifetime if you buy a good pair. But I'll tell you, since I've bought these flush cuts, you see the difference? How it comes right out there to the edge. Are we focusing? Right there to the edge. It gives you a clean cut. And where that really comes into play is when you are doing precision work, especially zip ties. You can go right up there flush to the edge, trim that, and there's no residual. If you've ever been cut by these in an engine bay or on a motorcycle, it's pretty brutal if you try to cut these with regular side cutters. Even if you go close as you can, they leave that sharp edge out there. This is a 2018 TE300 with over 1,000 hours on it. I bought it brand new in 17. This is the high water mark, the best 2-stroke ever built. Is that where I want that? The last year before they went fuel injected. Very desirable, these. They're superior in so many ways. This one doesn't have an arrow on it, but I think they go this way. Next thing we can do, check our chain tension. I got this from Taco. Those are good guys over there. 3D printed, and they're for your bike, so you can check chain tension real quickly. So I love these things. The best chain cleaner and lubricant, and I've tried all of them, is this one, Maxima. Chain guard, this stuff cleans like crazy. I keep my chain clean and lubricated every ride. So this stuff, what's cool about it is it sticks on the chain really good, and it's clear, and it doesn't leave a bunch of film and spray garbage. Oops, come on now. Garbage all over your... Actually, what you're supposed to do is do it on the bottom here, so it runs better. It lubricates really good, but dirt won't hardly stick to it. You can go ride and it just stays clean, and it's just so much less maintenance. And get one of these. This is made by Motion Pro. This is the best chain cleaner. These teeth are really stiff, and you can get down in the sprockets and get all that gunk off, and this just follows the chain. And this is what you want, man. For chain maintenance right here, these 4 things, this is your huckleberry right here. Essential Proho items, if I could just have a couple. 5-gallon wash bucket, wash mitt. Lamb's wool's the best, and a good scrub brush. You can pretty much clean what needs to be cleaned with these items right here. I like this Chemical Brothers. Is this Chemical Brothers? Chemical Guys? Someone told me that there's a better brand out there, but I don't follow detailing anymore. Actually, that's how I made a little extra money in high school, was I used to detail cars. I would go down into local dealership, used dealers, and I bought some washing stuff and went down there, had some business cards printed up. I was probably 16. And I said, I'm a car detailer now. And they said, we already got a car detailer. And I said, oh yeah? I said, well, I'll do it for less. Oh, is that right? How much? I said, how much are you charging? They said, 200. I said, I'll do it for 100. And they said, well, you can try it out. We'll try you out. And if you do a good job, we'll keep you. And that's what I did. I detailed cars for the dealership for $100. But that was good money in 1986. Love clear fuel filters. Love sight glasses, things where you can visually inspect. Gauges and digital stuff, it's all nice, but to actually see that there's oil in something, man, it just it puts the mind at ease. I upgraded my headlight a year or two ago. Moto Minded built this, they build these custom inserts. I took off the Husky front mask because it looks silly, and had a white KTM one done instead. But they 3D print this and then put these really nice the XL Pro. These are professional grade Baja race lights, and they are so, so bright. All factory plugs, so you don't have to cut any harnesses or anything. It is, I can't speak high enough for it. It is an excellent, excellent product. And just simple. You know, you change your beam height by just moving it. Wait till you see my switches. I'll get this installed and I'll show you the new switch I put on. Something else I recently added, this is also made by Moto Minded. Having 3D printers it's just amazing. Guys are able to think something up and just create it in their own shop without manufacturing. Just a little simple thing like this guide. You know, one thing it's always a problem when you go with aftermarket triple clamps and suspension and stuff to guide these cables. He 3D printed this nice little deal on there that it just works perfectly. It just keeps that all guide in line. I got rid of all the factory switches. The headlight switch was way up in there and you practically crash trying to turn it off and on. You know, sometimes you want to be incognito. You want to turn your lights off. So he makes these billet switches, plug and play. You don't have to cut your wiring harness, so this turns the headlight on and off. And then also, check this out, the start and stop switch, now on the same side. Two position switch right here, so red for kill, and then start. And everything billet and waterproof, like super nice factory plugs. Just a really clean system, especially when your handlebar starts getting crowded like this. It's nice, you can free up a lot of space by going with these guys. I don't wash my seat with soap and water because you can sit on a wet seat all day. So I usually just spot clean that. A plated dirt bike or a dirt bike that's dual sported, man, it's the greatest sport. It's the greatest thing in the whole world. Sell whatever you have to get one. It'll truly change your life. To have a motorcycle that can go anywhere, it is the epitome of freedom. It is, of all the things, if I had to give up all of the sports and the fun things that I do, this would be the very last thing. The final thing, short of tires and fuel, is a skid plate. And to put that on, we gotta take it off its stand here. Skid plate is essential to add to your dual sport. You gotta protect these frame rails right here. Even with the skid plate, you can see that they've taken a few hits. I got one ride on this, and look at the damage right there. That would have been on the frame there and up there. So, very important. Tank of fresh non-ethanol mix. Oh, there's nothing like a two-stroke. Simple, light, super powerful. Nothing funner to ride. There's no funner bike to ride than a lightweight two-stroke. Actually, there is one other thing to do. We need to set up the dashboard. I want to show you this phone mount because I've tried all of them and I found the best one. No question about it. How I set up my dashboard is I like to run with the phone. It's got my music on it, which is in my headset if I need to take phone calls from Mrs. W or whoever. It's got my navigation, Onyx or Gaia, whatever you use. I've got full sat nav and everything here with the TrailTech Voyager and buddy tracking so we can track all of our bikes, engine management. But the phone, it's just nice to have both. Now the problem with using a phone on these is the vibration from these bikes, they destroy the cameras and they will not warranty it. Ask me how I know. So if you want to fix that, then you need a rubber isolator, and this is the way to go. So a couple things going on here. These are the classic Ram mounts. You see the balls I have? These here are standard, and they're great mounts. So Lance over at Mako 360 built me this isolated stem here, and he incorporates a Ram ball right here that you can attach accessories on, and it's so perfect. So I have the shortest plastic Ram arm, and I put that on here. And then this guy right here, this is the rubber isolator, and this is made by, I believe it's SP. Yeah, SP, they make the best one. Now the downside is you have to buy a proprietary case for your phone, but you gotta buy a phone case anyway. So the phone cases are about 40 bucks, 39 bucks I think, and I think it's worth it. It's a good case. You can leave it on all the time if you want. But this this is all metal, and all of this is shock resistant rubber. So this knocks down the vibration, and I've never ruined a phone since I started using it. And look how they work. They've got you just line them up in the back. It's a twist lock. And there you have it. And it locks on. So you can run it horizontally, you can run it vertically, and when you leave, you don't have to leave your phone on the bike, you just twist it and it comes right off. So this is an excellent system. So how I set this up, seems like it's never the same twice. But I got that short arm on there, and I want everything compact and neat and tidy. So I'll tighten this up here. Excellent system. Put your phone in. Oh, you got to orient this. Now I like to run mine vertically. So just those little wings there, just put those up. And you see how it moves around? That's all, there's no metal on metal contact. No, I did it wrong. You get the idea. But I'll run mine just like this here, and this is absolutely an excellent system. If you get into brush, it's going to flex enough, it's not going to crack anything. I've had really good luck with it. I've crashed with it, it never moves. Now I have my full engine management system. I've got my phone and navigation right here. Very simple. So throttle, stop, start, headlight switch right here, and that's basically it. Brakes, clutch up here, front brake, rear brake. You got to have a mirror. I get tired of looking over my shoulder. You need to know if the Roslers are behind you, if you need to dip and make your escape. And I definitely want to have a mirror. So again, Ram ball, I just replaced the perch top. You can buy these at Slavens. It's a replacement with a 1/4-20 screw in there, screw a Ram ball in. And now the thing with this, when you get these longer arms with all this leverage out here, the plastic ones, you can get these in plastic and aluminum. The plastic will not hold tight enough and the mirror will move around on you. So the metal ones like this, the aluminum, they lock in, and man, that's perfect right there. And when you're in the weeds or in the brush, I simply fold it down out of the way. This is the only one I've ever bought. This is made by Double Take. So tough. I have never ever broken one, not to my recollection. It has been a great product, and it's an excellent mirror. You just need one, just one on one side. And the most important part of all, I'll save for last, can you be a West Coast moto dirt biker without being a little bit of a rebel? I say not. You know, this of course is not for hiding identity. This is of course keeping the license plate from getting torn off from weeds and bushes and things, you know. That's the story, if asked. But very nice to be able to go, well, very nice to be able to protect your plate so that it doesn't get damaged and it's clearly legible. Piece of inner tube, and there you have it. That's what I would call incognito mode right there. There's just nothing cooler. Nothing cooler. Well, that's probably a video for today. If you want, let me know in the comments if you'd like to see how to change tires, motorcycle tires. I'm happy to do that. I got 4 to do. And I'll read those comments. Take a moment if you haven't already, click the thumbs up and keep us in your prayers. May God bless you and your families, and we'll see you guys on the next video.